and gentlemen, welcome to the Bidness. Today we have some great people in the studio, or in their own studios, all in the big web of studios. This is Sweet Haya from San Jose, California. Everybody say hi.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I want to see a Miss Piggy logo. Yeah.
This is how I used to tell people how to say our name at the shows where it's really loud and you have to scream, hi-ya! And I just like at the same time.
Excellent.
Good to see you. Thank you for having us, Kurt, Brian, and Monkey and the Business.
Excellent. We have Nehal Abuelata. She is the singer and you used to be the keyboard player. Are you still playing keys?
Yeah.
Playing keys for Sweet Haya. And she also performs with her man for Amour du Sane.
Nicely done. That was good. There he is. That's Austin Geiger. No.
Hey, very good.
Austin?
Good. That's her man.
My little man.
She calls it her man. We just kind of look around really nervously, like, is she all right?
He'll be home shortly. He can show his face. The real one.
You can bring him on in the frame and we'll include him too. And then we have Devin Moreno. He plays left-handed rocking, shredding guitar. Big Marshall stack. Fire and smoke.
I've seen it. I have seen it with my own two eyes. He literally has a guitar that like shoots jet flames out the headstock.
Nice.
I promise. Go see Sweet Haya live. You'll see it yourself.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Brian, but you can't promise things that we can't materialize.
Don't write checks that their bodies can't cancel. Oh, man. And then last but not least, we have Kosuke Akamura. He is the drummer of Sweet Haya. He used to be the percussion player.
Percussion.
And so he teaches at Cabrillo Middle School, but he might...
I currently teach West Valley as well.
West Valley!
Yeah, college.
Yeah, they have a great jazz program. A lot of our horn players came from that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Over the years, for sure. So
but no pressure, Kosuke.
Start forking them out to us. Grind them up.
We could really use a trombone player right about now.
Yes. And a keyboard player. If you know the
one that plays both.
Just one-handed. Yeah.
Well, we want him to go like this. Like he wanted every time he extends his trombone, it lands on a
plays a note. Or you could attach little plastic fingers to the bottom of the trombone and just have that, hit the chords.
I'm all about it. Little fingers everywhere.
Rather than a trombone player, what I really, really, really want is a sousaphone keyboard player.
Yeah.
I miss Dustin, right? Dustonius Maximus.
Yes.
Used to multitask as well, right?
Yep. But now he's multitasking in Seattle, Washington. It's so great to have you guys on because I just wanted to see if you guys are still alive.
Are you worried that you only see three of us?
It's like, we buried him out back.
Yeah, no, they wanted to come, so we're missing Rio, and he's a behavioralist, so he's working, with clients, and he can't really. It's hard for him to move that around, but he really wanted to be here. He says hi, and Aaron Mark is also on the bass, and we love his bass. So he couldn't make it, unfortunately, but and then Gary also. So they all say what's up.
Yeah, I was hoping to have Gary. Gary's a good dude. He's been kind of like the manager and buddy of Sweet Haya for years. And he's also one of the people I like to see just randomly at shows in Southern California because he used to live in the Bay Area, but now he just shows up and it's him and his wife are always dolled up. And he's like, it's so good to see you. And I'm all, how you doing, Gary? He's like, my back.
He's a trooper. I want to send some love to his dad. Actually, was in the hospital. Ernie Greenberg. I don't know if he's gonna watch this, but I just wanted to send some love because he was going through a hard time. So he's sending good vibes for healing his way. And we actually played at Gary's son's wedding, so that's where we got to meet his dad and his mom. And they're just the cutest human beings ever. They're from New Hampshire.
Cool. Nice. Well, this show, like I was saying before, only has 2 questions. One question at the beginning, one question at the end. So I was sitting around with Brian and with Bosco. Bosco's another guy that sometimes co-hosts on the show. And we were talking about what do people want to see on a podcast? And I was like, I want to see if my friends that are playing music are still alive. I want to make sure that they're still doing something, that their lives are being enriched in some way. So the first question that I would like to ask is, what did you do during the 2020 dumpster fire that was the entire world? How did you not get burned? How did you get out of the dumpster? How did you keep your mind above the crowd and focused on positivity? Did you garden? Did you ride bicycles? Did you paint? Did you learn a new hobby? Build a bird nest or something? I don't know. I wanted to say birdhouse, but I said nest. Anyway, what did you do? What did you do to keep from going insane? And we'll start that round off with Kosuke. Kosuke, what did you do this year to stay sane?
What did you do?
So, as you guys know, I teach middle school, and it's been a crazy year trying to do teach music online. And all these parents that have kids, I have hats off to them. They are stuck with their kids, and also have to manage them to be making sure they're on task. It's been crazy, but so I actually got married 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
Day.
Wedding.
Thank you. So that was one thing that we done. We actually did wedding planning. It was supposed to be this summer, June, sometime in June, but we knew I don't think we were going to be able to do it in June as a huge wedding. So we decided to throw a smaller wedding, and I think in a way it actually brought us closer because we were stuck at home. My wife and I, and so
I've never heard you say that. I love it. Say it again.
Well, my wife and I, so that was happening, and Courtesy just mentioned it, but we did gardening for sure, and you also mentioned trading. We actually started trading. So when the market dipped in March, we started trading stocks and Bitcoins.
Nice. Did you buy GameStop? GameStop.
I didn't get those. I wish I knew. But most of all, I had more time to practice. So I'm usually running around teaching after school, at West Valley, teaching these kids. So I had more time to practice. So I was able to focus on my music stuff, and I was constantly trying to work out to keep my mind in the right place. And I've also been meditating. I've been a meditator since 2005. Yeah, so it was good to do all these things and really focus and kind of bring me down or ground myself, in this time. So
nice. Yeah. I hate to say it. When you said meditator, I was like, taters. I'm getting hungry here.
I was like, truffle tots.
Nice.
It's the same thing, man.
Nice. Nahal, what did you and Austin do to keep from going absolutely stir crazy in those same four walls every day?
So, quite the opposite of what Kosuke did. So plus or minus a few things. So we were actually supposed to get married last August with Austin, and not with Kosuke. And so unfortunately we had to cancel that because the majority of my family is actually in different countries, different continents. So obviously there was not going to be any of my family other than my parents that could have attended. So we decided to postpone it by a year, thinking, by August next year, everything will be groovy. And we're actually asking ourselves the same questions now. But we're like, we could spend the rest of the year being depressed about the fact that we can't get married, or we could do something awesome. So we decided to hit the road and do a nature music tour. So we grabbed our guitars and we packed up the car with as much camping gear as we could. And initially our goal was Vermont, sponsored by Vermont. And because mainly it's funny because I would see these movies on TV, and they had like this fall in Vermont looked like this magic wonderland of leaves and colors, and I missed that because when I was in France, we had very distinct seasons, but here in California, it's like summer, spring, which is great, but I kind of missed that. So we decided initially we were going to go to Vermont. And so we hit a bunch of national parks, national forests, very few cities because COVID. And this was between September and October, about 5 weeks. And we went to as many of the landmarks of our beautiful country, which was really special. And every place we went that connected with us, we would make a little video. And obviously we'd play some of our original stuff, but also we'd like do panoramics to see, to share with people the beautiful views we were seeing. Because a lot of our friends, and particularly our older family members, hadn't been able to do anything or go out to the grocery store. So we thought it'd be cool to share a little bit of the beauty and nature at the same time as music with them. So that was really amazing. And actually, we decided to keep going after Vermont, and we hit Maine, and we went all the way to Maine. And so that was really cool. I don't know if you guys have been to Acadian National Park, but we fell madly in love with that place, stayed longer than we had planned. Ended up almost moving to Cape Cod because P-Town is amazing.
Yeah.
Provincetown, oh my God, is a gorgeous place. Very, very forward thinking as well, which was refreshing after going through some of these really scary places in the middle of an election. Looking like I do. So I gotta say, like, it was a lot of times like just going through gas station being like, do we pee here, or is it dangerous for me to like just be by myself in this place? So we were just really grateful that, well, first of all, we made it, and two, to have this chance to be mobile, and we stayed safe because we were camping. The only people we talked to was like campsite folks and stuff, and staying at a distance. I saw more of America than I'd ever seen in my life, which was really cool. Nice. And we still didn't hit the maximum mileage on my leased car, which was great. So
there you go.
So that was one of the adventures, I think, that kept us sane. And obviously it's cool to be able to live with somebody that plays music. So we do a lot of online shows. We trying to make a little bit of money. We're doing like corporate gigs and stuff online, and we do a lot of free stuff. We've done a lot of fundraisers, and actually the band with Sweet Haya, we've actually started doing weekly band meetings, which we never used to do. So we're actually more productive now than we used to be. And just the guys, I've got to give it up to the guys for just stepping up their tech game big time, on an audio level and on a production level, on a audio-visual level. And it's allowed us to do a lot of cool collaborations. And so I think that's kept me sane, since the band is like one of the most important things in my life. So
yeah, that's the thing, is that music makes family members out of people. And I don't think the rest of the world understands that. I don't know if they do or not, because I can state that at least half of the people that I've dated over my life have been like, why are you spending so much time with the band? Because I met you a year ago and I've been with them for 17 years.
Goodbye.
But yeah, there is a genuine romance that music brings to the discussion between human beings. Once you've been bitten by that romance, you're just like, hey, I understand. I love you, but this is my band.
Yeah, it's so special.
Yeah, for sure.
Unbelievable. And having partners that understand that, or family members or whatever, is extremely important, especially at a time where we're not always the best version of ourselves because of everything going on. Yep. So Hey, no, I love you guys.
Excuse me for one quick interruption, Curtis. Curtis, Craig Waddell would like you to know that what you just said is weird.
Oh, Craig. Oh, Craig.
You can't handle all that romance.
I'm not going to even answer that one.
He said you're cute and all, but
Wait, here you go, Craig.
Craig's pretty fantastic. He is the front man for Sturgeon General. You guys may have run across them. They've come out and done a couple of like monkey anniversary shows.
Nice.
So, yeah, they're fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Send us the link so we can love them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it's not
Craig,
too uncomfortable for them.
No, Craig, drop it in the queue.
Yeah, Craig, drop it right in the queue. Just put it down right there.
Hey, and that brings us to Devin. Devin, the whole world's gone mad. There's a dumpster on fire. There's Black Lives Matter. There's everyone loses their job. There's everyone's got a disease. There's wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. And you're in your room, your four walls, and you're thinking like, how do I keep myself from going insane? What did you do to keep yourself from going insane?
You know, I did go a little insane, but I got right out of it.
Nice. Good man.
I actually work kind of like in the healthcare industry, but back in like December of 2019, we had finished opening up the new hospital at Stanford, and perfect timing, unfortunately. But
yeah.
So I actually worked more this last year than I had at any other time, working weekends on call. And I got to tell you, like, being in traffic for an hour and a half every day versus like you see nobody, like nobody anywhere. And, you know, we cover the whole Bay Area, and I was listening to audiobooks, and funny enough, I was actually listening to like World War Z, and they were talking about like the ending of the world, and I'm like here driving, you know, and it's like there's nobody on the road, and I'm like, man, this is a trip. So I did a little
especially when there were the fires and the sky was orange.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
That's the wrong time to be listening to World War Z. Jeez.
It helps you really get into the story.
I'm sure.
What is it? Is it fiction? Is it fiction or it's
World War? Yeah, it's zombies.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh, it's very appropriate.
Thing. Yeah.
You know, maybe I don't know. I was just kind of leaning into something different, you know, I don't know. But I did take some like online classes over this time as well. Since we didn't have any gigs, I wanted to do something just to keep myself sane and keep going. So I did learn some Ableton Live, which was fun. Okay. I'm still learning a little bit more, and I also I just don't even say zombies aren't real. So I did that. I took those online classes, and I learned some stuff about like guitar theory and chord theory, which opened up a whole new world for me. And like I've been itching to just share it with people, but I'm like, I can't see anybody.
That's why shows like this are good for musicians to kind of reach out to each other and say, hey, I learned all this stuff. As soon as the lift happens, I'm at your house. We're doing this. Yeah, for sure.
How do you see people's comments? I wanted to see.
If you click
if you're on a computer.
Yeah. Because on my link, I don't see it.
So click on the link that he shared in the group text.
Gotcha.
And it'll open up a page, and then turn the volume off.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to see who's in the house.
I want to chat. I want to chat.
I want to say hello. I don't know what's happening. I'm in a strange mood today, but it
doesn't matter. We're going to read them anyway every now and then, because people say funny things in the thread, and we want to.
There you go, people. Yeah. I know those people. Hello, beautiful
Wendy
folks.
Leadholm is saying, "So cool to see you all."
Definitely.
Hey,
so good to see you.
What else is going on?
I think we might be able to start jamming again with the guys in the coming, I want to say, weeks, because we had started back in, I don't know, guys. Do you remember when we started seeing each other again? It's like a breakup. When did we start dating again? I know we had like a little break, and then we
the
lost
first time or the second time?
Because we had like a rough patch where we practiced at the at the practice place. I mean, it's true. It's like we lost our practice space. And so we didn't have a common space to get together and rehearse anymore. So we kind of invited ourselves over to Devin and Aaron's backyard and just brought all our shit over, all our instruments, our PA. And we're like, okay, the backyard is now our rehearsal space. So then it was perfect for a while until wildfires
Whoa.
and literal, right? And so
Yeah.
a couple of us in the band have asthma, so we couldn't do that outside.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, next song, So it wasn't, it was on and off, again, like a nice little high school relationship. You're like, I can't do it. I can't. And so back and forth for a while. And then finally we did have a couple of really cool gigs that we got to do. It was nice because for most of them were fundraisers, because there's a lot of people who needed support during this time, whether it be the kids, the schools, and then obviously there's a lot of things going on a social level with Black Lives Matters. There was a lot of things that we were wanting to kind of push to amplify the voices. And so it was really cool to be able to be a part of this and kind of like share our soundtrack with what was going on culturally.
Yeah.
And share some of that common like anger and uncertainty that we were all feeling for so long. So we did have regular rehearsals at one point until the regulations got crazy again. But I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I think we'll be able to get together again soon. We do have a gig booked in April, so hopefully we can rehearse before then. Yeah, I mean, it's weird, but I think we've found interesting ways to stay connected. And I mentioned now we have weekly band meetings that have allowed us to have conversations that were a little bit different than, so when you're in a practice place, as you guys know, as musicians who have been doing this for a while together, in this particular configuration, when you get together to play music, you have a very different head on, right? You're like, okay, we're thinking set list, we're thinking shows, we're thinking, preparation, physical preparation, logistics, etc. So this whole situation has taught us, I think, to discuss our band and our potential and our plans from a more, not just business perspective, but also like, what do we want to be when we grow up? If that ever actually happens. And what is our purpose, true purpose, other than, because it's easy when you're playing live to be on a stage and make people happy with your music and everybody dance now. And this is a song about love. And this is a song about heartbreak and, whatever. And having that connection with people is, to me at least, is much easier in person. But when you are a virtual presence, how do you still share a message? How do you still share what you're about and what you think you can contribute to help in any way, shape, or form in this format, which is, slightly, stifling, as people who, like, part of our job is amplifying things via amplifiers and microphones, and it's like projecting, and all of a sudden we're just two-dimensional, and so it pushes you to be creative in different ways, in the ways that you're going to be connecting with your musician community. I found like we've done some interesting collaborations, some of them with people we'd never played music with before, folks that were out of town, folks that were out of the country, things that weren't conceivable in the past because we didn't have to go through these pathways to think about our unit. So I think it's been fruitful, painful, but fruitful.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's what everybody is feeling, like painful but oddly fruitful.
Yeah.
Have you done any new recordings during the pandemic, like file trading or sharing, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we did a couple of those mosaic videos that were, the I don't know. I think we used acapella, and then do you remember the name of those other platforms we used, guys? For
Acapella for sure. Kosuke, I think you were the one that brought us most of these things. Do you remember what they were called?
Yeah, so we tried to do Upbeat, which is what I use for my middle school kids. So what they do is they send in the video and it puts together a video at the end. So you can't hear what everybody else is doing, but at the end you get out of a video as a result, which we didn't finish doing because it just didn't work for us. And then we did Jamulus. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Jamulus. So we did Jamulus for I think 2 weeks. So it's like you could jam online, which is insane.
Okay.
You have to have a massive Ethernet cable with a fast internet because you're playing, and then it's gonna send the signal to the server, and then sends it to everybody else, and then they're gonna play. You know, it's like insane. So we tried that for like 2 weeks, and
did it work?
That was it.
It kind of worked.
Yeah.
Usually it's as much as we as humans think like, oh yeah, it's definitely, it's really close to being live. It's like, no, you're actually, it's 2 seconds delay, 2 seconds delay, 2 seconds delay, 2 seconds delay. And so they have this all mapped out. So everything, they just basically, they're recording the first track, the second guy, they're recording that track there, and then the next guy's there and there. So, so it starts to feel by the end of it like you guys are all on the same page, and it's like, yeah, it's technology is good, but it's not that good.
It works with slower paced songs. Like we did try a syncopated song, and it was like, no, stop this. But it was really fun with the slower, more ballady stuff.
The funk songs are out. You're like, you got the
So what we did, we did a Facebook Live for a song where we trusted each other that we all knew the song, we all knew the changes. Kosuke starts, his Facebook Live, and then there's like a minute delay. He counts it in, and then me and Aaron are listening to him, and so then we play along to that, and then Nihal listens to the three of us, so it's like going through like kind of like a boombox type of thing. We're playing to that, then Nihal's listening to that, and then she's singing to that. So we had to really trust. It's not one of the songs that we like to, extend and improvise. It's kind of like we know the changes. This is what's going to happen, and it actually turned out pretty good. We were on time.
Yeah, we were calling it Inception Stream because it was a stream within a stream within a stream, and it works for one song that everybody has the exact format. You gotta, make sure your drummer has the metronome on, and whoever is at the very end, it's pretty much your responsibility to not F it up because you're the only person who can hear everybody else, so you have no excuse. But then it really was a fun experiment, but you can't really do a full set of that. We did try to do a couple of songs, and it's, it was really time consuming, and we're like, we don't want people to just be listening to us like, all right, wait another minute. Have you texted Kosuke to tell him to start playing? All right, Rio's right here. It was getting crazy. Like we had our partners be like texting each other's partners to say, all right, he's ready to go. All right, he's ready to go. All right, she's ready to go. It was a fun experiment, but like, we can't do a full set. Imagine like 18 songs of that.
Yeah, for sure. The guys in Monkey, most of the guys were at jobs where they had to be constantly tested. And we're like, okay, if we practice and then take like 2 weeks off, and then everyone gets tested again, and we practice and take 2 weeks off, and then everybody gets tested again. I was the only guy in the band that didn't get tested a lot, but that's because I never went anywhere. I worked from home. So just go back to the studio, and then we did a couple of live streams from the studio, and people really, really, really reacted
I watched.
to that.
It was awesome. Yeah, I love what you guys did at Sofa Street Fair, like that whole gig. That was excellent. If anybody's watching that hasn't seen that, check out the Monkeys bit on the Sofa Street Fair. What edition was that? The holiday edition, or was
Yeah, it
it?
was the holiday.
Yeah, and
It was
you guys had like a
Christmas
story
edition.
going on. It was great. It was
That
awesome.
was so annoying though, like doing the video because Kurt was so just fanatical about getting all these stupid shots, and like everybody is just like, why? It's like, no, let's go over here and do this thing now. Okay, and then we do it, and you're like, okay, now let's go do this thing over here. And
he's so motivated. I love it.
We're like taking video for like 2 hours after a practice, and like we like recorded all the music for the Sofa Festival video like in the garage, just like on the fly, and like did like these live recordings of that, and then shot video for like 2 hours after that, and finally like Micah was just like, all right, get the fuck out of my house, because we practiced at
Micah.
we practiced at Micah's house, and like
he's like throwing his sticks at you.
Yeah, he's like, okay, cool, we got enough video, get the fuck out. Like,
because it could get a little tiring, right, to do the video stuff. Like, we're so used to playing live. I was going to ask you, actually, do you guys find yourselves performing differently when you're doing the live streams or, you know, the video type stuff, broadcast, versus when obviously you're playing live? Do you conceive how differently you're performing?
I personally play a lot of my show with my eyes closed. But like when I'm like listening to the band around me and I'm just like playing those parts that my eyes are closed, I feel like I'm playing the same. As soon as I open my eyes and I see like the two phones there, just like with the camera, it all goes. I don't know how Kurt is. Like, he's pretty present in front for most of the stuff.
For me, there is a nagging voice in my head telling me what level I should be at every show. So if I'm at a show that's like really quiet, literally there's a guy in the back of my head going, okay, there's 3 guys over there on the stool. We're going to have to talk to them, give them 2 songs before we start talking to them, but then make it really funny and make it all about them. If they react good, then go like full on banter. But if they don't react good, just start playing a song. That's literally running in my head as I'm talking on the mic or singing on the mic.
You're reading your audience and
Exactly.
And then sometimes you'll change like what song you're going to play next because of those 2 guys on the stool.
Yeah. So then we do this live show, and what's going through my head is like, this has to look better than a regular show. I have to look more excited, I have to look more active. And then I start going, okay, I lean in and I'm like, that did nothing. Side to side, that did a lot. I'm constantly processing that. And so I'm looking at the screen and I'm going, do. Okay, that looks stupid.
It's the up and down,
you know,
side to side.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like very Vogue.
But yeah, I find that playing to a live audience is definitely key. That's the best. There's nothing better than playing to a live audience. But playing to a phone at the end of a garage made me hungry to do it right. Yeah. And so I was, you know, if you look at me, I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff because I want to look active. I don't want to be like, I'm on a video.
Yeah. This is my favorite thing to do, but you can't really tell.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Personally, I try to look as boring as possible.
And by the way, if anybody wants to look up that video, Brian can drop in the feed. We have it on YouTube. It's called The Holiday Card. And what we did was we filmed this entire thing in little story vignettes and then a song, story vignettes and the song. And so I had this concept. I said, okay, we got to get like holiday-ish stuff. And so I had my guys run around the house, like hugging the Christmas tree and like playing with toys and that kind of thing. And then I called up my friend Craig, who's in the feed right now.
Who's the lead singer of Surgeon General.
Yeah, the lead singer of Surgeon General. And I said, Craig, do you have a Santa costume? And he said, do I have a Santa costume?
That's a good Santa voice.
Yeah, no, he was all about it. He's like, what do you need me to do? And I said, I need you to look drunken and depraved, run around like a madman, and have whoever's around you pretend to beat you up.
So pretty much just be you, Craig.
Yeah, pretty much just Craig.
I want to meet Craig.
No, he took to it like a fish to water, and it came out awesome. We strung it all together, and then what we did was we pre-recorded the songs in GarageBand, right? So it's like really simple 8-track recordings. nothing special. And once we had the songs down, I brought them in and we just played them on Micah's stereo and we pretended to play to them. So we're like, and we're trying to be as active as possible. And there's points at which I'm like literally gasping for air because we're just jumping around like morons. And I had to put like scenes of toys and stuff in sections where we just were falling apart. We were just like,
I want to see that B-roll. That's what I want to see.
Doesn't even look like the song. Doesn't even look like the song.
No.
No, but it came out all right. When I gave it to Rachel.
Rachel, I love you. Caravan.
Caravan. Yeah, she said, oh, it was her and Phil. And Phil says, here's the link to all the videos. So I got to see all the videos before it got made into a show. And so these videos are all of people singing in a park, people like singing in their living room, people just singing a cappella into a phone. And then here we are, and it's like a whole fucking story, and it's like blah, 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 blah. And then,
It definitely stood out.
I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, Rachel, we went way over the top. And she looked at it and she's like, this is it. This is amazing.
It was perfect. It was perfect. I mean,
man.
that whole show was over the top. Rachel's bit and everything, but it was perfect.
Rachel was so
Cindy
awesome.
Lou Who.
Cindy Lou.
Let's drink over here.
And she made San Jose history with that.
Yeah, there were some winner moments.
It is my goal to book the first show in San Jose back in a bar with Rachel at Caravan. And
Can we be there? We want to play with you there.
I think you guys should be there for that.
Yeah.
I don't even want payment. I just want Rachel
Well, I mean,
to be Cindy Lou Who.
I'm sorry. It's the Caravan. There is no payment.
A shot of whiskey. No.
I kid. Whatever payment we get, we just put it right back into the bar in whiskey.
Yeah. It's the following Tuesday.
No, we had Rachel on for one of these shows, and I accidentally said, "Yeah, it's a great punk rock bar where you play for the love because you don't get paid." And she's all, "Excuse me, I paid. We paid them. Not a lot, but we paid them." And I'm like,
She does. They do. But what I'm saying is, I don't even want that. I just want her to be Cindy Lou Who behind the bar, and my night is made.
You dress like Cindy Lou Who, and we play for free.
Places like the Caravan, especially when we come right back into it, is that like just to invest in the future of like punk rock venue in San Jose, like there should be absolute like no payment. These are all the bands are just here to play, to drive up your sales, to you keep all the money, and we're just here to do the thing right off the bat.
I think it would be cool to do something of that sort because a lot of bands have been still able to play a little bit from home, getting some tips or whatever, doing the Zoom. But what are venues able to do? Very little. Yeah. And people aren't really paying venues to rent them out for whatever right now because nobody's getting together anyway. No. So I think it'd be cool to do like, I don't know if you guys have seen the Art Boutique has done some really cool broadcasts from there.
Oh, yeah.
The audio and video quality. I mean, if Monkey gets a chance to just do that, I think you guys would just kill it. You'd murder that stage there and really get amazing footage and audio because, Dan Vado and their team is just really good. But what I was going to say is out of that show came several ideas. At some point we are going to be able to play at bars again and get together and play music live for human beings. But what if we continue to have a broadcast aspect of these live shows where the people that aren't living there, or maybe, they're vulnerable and they still can't come out or whatnot, are still able to see these shows and, maybe pay like tips just for the bands to help out. In those cases, we could even have like tips for the venues or whatnot, or, entry fees, knowing that it's going to help out the venue. But I think there's going to be, a lot of people hungry and thirsty for music. And if we want to keep this going, we got to keep the home of the musicians, which are the venues, alive. And so one way to do that would be to just be like, can you kindly just throw some money in the hat,
for sure.
Since you mentioned the Art Boutique, on February 15th, or was it 14th of last year, 2020, so we actually had a show, and we recorded it for Kosuke's he was proposing.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Is that the live at the Tiki? You got on
It's the
Spotify right
same
now?
one, man.
Yeah,
the
okay,
same
cool,
one.
nice.
So
Nice.
we had a bunch of Kosuke's friends from. Well, you want to talk about it, Kosuke? I mean, it was your night.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah,
Tell us,
Kosuke.
Well,
Kosuke.
yeah, you could have kept. Thank you. You could have kept going, but yeah. So I invited I invited a bunch of my friends. Well, I asked them if they could do it from my San Jose State because I majored in music, so I had a bunch of friends that played horns, and Ryosuke did a great job transcribing the horn parts, and I simplified it, made a chart for everybody, passed them out. So we have like about 10 horns added that night.
Nice.
And it was all like a flash mob of horns. You know, I came up with the idea. Actually, no, sorry, I have to give credit to Chris Reed. Chris Reed gave me the idea of flash mobbing with the horns. And I was like, oh, that's genius. So I had the horns lined up in the back side of the boutique. And when we were playing Tumematas, they would play da-da-da-da-da-da-da from, you know, the whole entire room. So everybody's like looking around like, what's going on? We didn't tell the audience what's going on. Yeah. And then they walked on the stage and played the rest of the set. And after yourself, after that, I proposed to Janelle.
You didn't mention the part where all the horns surrounded poor Janelle, like in the middle.
Yeah.
Just like, like just being blasted with all the horns. That was awesome.
Just as a horn player, I have to say, awesome.
Yeah. she was drunk anyway, so she couldn't. I'm kidding, Janelle.
Getting called out.
Nice. Get her sauced up on the funky drink.
It was cool though, and then he did a killer solo on Yourself, our song called Yourself, and he just it was like the best solo ever. He was like going all, what's that movie with the intense dude drunk?
Whiplash.
Yeah, you were whiplashing. And I was like, it's blood on the drums. And then he just drops his sticks like the man and gets off stage, grabs the mic, and bam, goes down on one knee, and everybody was like, that's just it's emotional, beautiful. And she said, yes,
I'm crying over here, and I wasn't even.
He cries often.
I do. It helps me sleep at night.
Sensitive. That's why we're all musicians. We're all hypersensitives. That's what we get along.
That's actually how I get like the 10-hour drives out of the way. I'm just like rolling down the road at 90 miles an hour,
crying,
just tears streaming.
What have I done with my life?
Are you still in Hawaii, or you're back?
No, I'm back.
Mainland.
I'm back to the mainland now. Yeah, a couple of months early. You know,
welcome back.
Getting the COVID kind of took the wind out of the sails of being out there.
Oh man, you feeling better?
Yeah, totally.
Did anybody actually get the COVID here besides Brian?
No.
Besides Brian and me.
Yeah, he got it earlier.
Yeah.
I gave
Brian
it to him back in like, we lost Nahal.
Oh no!
I got both shots.
Ah, nice.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. All right.
All right.
How's your phone doing as far as power?
I got about 10%, so I think I got my office that's like right over there. But I'm not trying to leave.
Okay, so I'm sorry to say that Nahal took a dive. We will mourn her. We will remember her. We'll remember you, Nahal.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Oh man!
I kid.
All right. So the final question of the day is: now that we see on the horizon, there is a possibility that we may all be vaccinated soon, and the world may be opening back up, and people may be out there hungry for some sort of entertainment.
Yes.
How do we energize not just ourselves, but other musicians, other artists, other people that are creative to be maximum creativity, maximum. We want not just people to go, the world is open and I'm playing a stupid gig down at this cafe. No, we want you to own it. We want this to be a revolution of sound, a renaissance for the modern times. All right? So I know you guys have been sitting around in your room thinking about it forever, and you probably thought if the COVID thing was over tomorrow, this is how I would do it. Devin, how
Dual
would you do it?
amplifiers.
Smoke machines.
Yeah, dude.
Can I get some laser lights?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's too much rock for one hand right there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, there is something to be said about just going overboard and having the ultimate show. And this is the time to think about it. This is the time to order that smoke machine.
Yeah. Hey, man, I think if we just get out there, regardless if other people are excited, I mean, if we're excited and they see that and they feel it, I mean, it just spreads like wildfire, like just the energy of being in that live room and you're feeding on the crowd, and hopefully there's people that aren't, too scared, and everyone gets vaccinated. They're all ready to go, because I know you guys are ready to go. We're ready to go. I mean, we got to go do this. I mean,
I was born ready.
This is what we do. We lost a whole year. It's time to get it out and get it out hard,
Exactly. That's what I like to hear. Kosuke, you've been sitting there teaching kids online, going like, man, is this ever going to get better? Is this ever going to get better? And you've been doing the good Lord's work, which is growing the next crop of musicians. I tip my hat to you. But with that being said, what are your ideas? How do we energize people, the youth and other people that have never tried to perform before, never tried to be an artist before, never tried to write a book before? What do you say to them to get them energized?
So I mean, I think the work is pretty much done here. Everybody is hungry at this point in life, and especially, I mean, my kids are ready. They just want to come back and play music like they've been doing it, in last few years, and they're just sad doing this online by themselves. And I completely get it. So my work is cut out. Once we're back, hopefully by next school year, these kids are gonna be lit. you know what I mean? And I think the numbers has been going up. My program has been going up. So hopefully it stays that way. Hopefully this year didn't put the numbers down. But in many ways, yeah, my kids are very excited and they want to come back and they want to play. So. Just like Devin was saying, everybody's gonna be super excited, to play music.
Nice. Yeah, that's exactly what we need to hear. We need to hear that the world is ready for it. I'm ready for it. Brian's ready for it. Everybody in Sweet Haya is ready for it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say one more thing. Is like, you know what? It's also given us perspective. These chances, we might not have these chances again in the future. So if you're apprehensive about it, like I have been in the past about certain things, get out there and do it, man. You don't know if, something could happen, something else could happen. So it's time to just live your life and do the things that you love to do.
Yeah, exactly. I quoted this once on another show. I'm going to quote it again. Skank and Pickle wrote a song called It's Not Too Late, where they said, write a book, song, poem, paint a picture, move away from mom, get used to the fixtures. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's never, never, never too late. No. That's how we all need to be. That's how we all need to be. Snap, 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 snap. Excellent. Well, thank you guys. Once again, we have Devin Moreno, Kosuke Akamura, and Porna Hall. She's in the feed right now. She's like, we're hella ready.
Damn, you're going to make me cry. I'm screaming with y'all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for being part of the Bidness.